at some point in your leveling journey, you will find yourself over here. This is called Shaleback Hollow. It is on the North River going up towards the unnamed city alongside a cliff. You can see directly across is a camp of the local peoples. And you come in here, these shalebacks are undead shalebacks. These are corrupted and undead shalebacks. Something like that. You come in here and they have changed this little cave. They've added something to the back of this, so it is greatly altered. And once you get back into the back of this, you can see that this looks like it might have been part of the underground of the unnamed city. And now we have a little ramp that goes up here. And you can find this table full of books right here. And there's a book on top, and it asks you to interact. And you learn basic sorcery, word of power, and some corruption stuff. This will give you the knowledge on how to create the arcane staff, the bench, detect corruption, so you can detect nearby objects and creatures with corruption. And that will come in handy when you're trying to detect a disguised sorcerer. And you can also do the ice bridge. These are pouches that are dropped by a sorcerer, and apparently these can be crafted at the alchemy bench. These are ingredients for some of the spells. To get sorcery on the Isle of Siptah, you will need to find a cave as well. And the cave that you're going to start out it is right here at Riverwatch Keep as you're approaching it. This is going to be facing inwards towards the interior of the island, but you haven't crossed this gate before. You'll see this broken tower top over here, and to the left is a big cave. And you will go out here and pick up sorcery at the very bottom of this cave. I believe that this cave is a new cave for the Isle of Siptah. But just like on the Exiled map, it is just exactly the same. Then you would just go up here and interact with the book and gain your skills. As you travel around the world and you go into these camps, there are going to be new books with recipes that you can find. This one in particular gave me alchemical decor. So that is something that you need to look out for when you're wandering through camps. I am, of course, in admin mode, but these things will be laying around on benches, on fences in various locations. You'll also be wanting to locate some of the sorcerers. Every single tribe has a sorcerer at least, so you'll want to be looking out for sorcerers as both people that you want to attack and get the pouches from, and also you're gonna want to add one as a thrall to go with your thaumaturgy bench. Okay, so here's an example of a sorcerer on the Isle of Siptah, located at the accursed citadel just north of the tower. And this is new, so he's got his sacrificial stone, he's got his bench, and there he is. Look at the skin, he is very corrupted, the veins are showing, so forth. And then here is his table. Now we'll see first if there's anything on the table we can use. There is a little scroll there. I think we got an interaction prompt. And we pick it up and we got a sorcerer's spell page. And then we can add it to the tome that we have picked up when we get to our bench. So there's a couple of things you can do with it. You can add it to your portfolio, or if it's something you already know, you can dismantle it for its precious ink. Then you have a choice. You can either knock him out and bring him back with you to work on your thaumaturgy bench for you, or you can kill him. And I don't have any weapons, so I'm just going to admin kill him.
Oh, this darkness and gloom.
And on him he will have some supplies, a leather satchel. He will have failed sorceress pages and Skelos cultist master. So we'll bring those with us. We get a Skelos cultist master, so this one is, reading this will unlock the knowledge of Kari Raider armors. We also learned forgotten furnishing. So here's a new furnishing page. You can get a bookshelf, tables, cauldrons, alchemy decor, so forth. And the other one that I learned earlier was the alchemy decor, and that's alchemical decor. This has animal skull, books, some more jars, potion bottles, papers with demonic pentagram, and more bottles. So as you can see, there's a few things that you can learn along the way. You have to explore the sorcerer's bench to see if he's got a scroll to pick up, and you have to see if he's got any scrolls on him to learn. And unlocking the leather satchel that he carries gives you a leather pouch, which you need to, in order to craft your spells. So it's a resource. So once you have a new spell page, and I'm starting from the very beginning, so you bring your new spell page over to your workbench, and I've already put the materials in there, but you can see that you can craft a new Tome of Kurak. You can also craft an arcane staff in case you happen to lose the one that you were given when you first learned it. But the first thing that I got to upgrade my book is a basic spell page. So the spell page plus your tome plus some other ingredients, and I can craft an upgraded version of this book. And now I have gotten some more spells that I know, and my new spell book will have those spells in it. Okay, so now you basically have 3 chapters in the book. This one has part the veils of time, space to glimpse the past, present, and future. And this is the spell this is a very basic spell. This is the spell you get. This one plus you get the ice bridge first. So this one is to reveal nearby corrupted objects and those with arcane corruption. You just move. If you don't want to do a spell, you can just move. Alright, so let's look at the other ones. The middle one is shape the raw forces of nature and reality itself. And this is where I have the frozen bridge. It's going to require one of those pouches to perform this spell. And then the others that I just learned will be over here. So I've learned imbue a soul onto their own flesh, illuminating their path. And then we've got sorcerer imbues a soul onto a fixed point, illuminating the area. So these are basic light, looks like a light spell. That was kind of a disappointment right there. But you can see that now every time you do a spell, you're going to gain corruption. Now I'm going to try imbues the soul onto their own flesh, illuminating their path. There, now you got your basic little light bowl, and it will last for a certain amount of time, and you can see how much light is being given off by this particular spell. Sorcery is a very corrupt occupation. As a sorcerer, you're going to need to perform sacrifices to get any of these materials that you're going to need for different spells. So as you can see, there are 3 different things that you can get from the sacrificial stone. You can get the blood rite, you can have blood in a flask, which requires the sacrificial blood, and you can get soul drain. When, as an admin, of course, I have spawned in a wild fighter, and I will have to subdue him, and then I will have to drag him just like you do any other thrall, and just put him on the bench. And there he is. He's ready to be sacrificed. So we have 1 thrall in here. I want to get some of this blood, so we go ahead and craft it. It is quite graphic. Looks like we take a little bit of our blood too. And I don't know, looks like we put our knife down in there. But there we go. Now we've got a reagent for some of our spells. Now, from what I can tell, these reagents are used to learn different spells in your thaumaturgy bench. So once you have a, your next level, you just need to get more of those spell pages, and it will continuously upgrade your tome of Kurak. So more spell pages, then it looks like it starts out with some very basic and easy to find resources like feral flesh and feathers, and then eventually it will build up until you're going to start to need some of these things here. And that is the very basics of sorcery from what I can tell. I have not looked at all of the different spells that I could learn. I could certainly, as an admin in creative mode, go in there and upgrade all of the spells and figure that out. But for the most part, this is the very, very basics of the sorcery in Conan Exiles 3.0. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the weapon and armor illusion system. This is something that you would be able to do after you learn your sorcery skill at the cave, and you have created a thaumaturgy bench, and this is where you're going to do your illusion. So basically you can take anything that is of a similar type and combine the illusion of the appearance of one with the stats of the original. So I want it to look like earrings, but I want the stats from the medium cap. Let's see if this will work. It does. So now I have a medium cap. It has all of the stats of the medium cap. It's got the carrying capacity of plus 15. It's got armor 34. And I put it on my head. And it is earrings. So now you can pretty much disguise your helmet with earrings if you so desire, but they will have the same stats as if you were really wearing the helmet. And the same goes through with the weapons. In fact, I just converted my star metal weapon to look like an obsidian weapon, and you can tell that they are converted by seeing a little halo around them in the, as you can see it on the medium cap. It's got a little halo, and it's got a little symbol up in the corner that shows that it is altered. You do need to have the skill to craft both items before you can transfer appearances. But it is pretty cool that you can do this at all. I like this. So I want my medium boots. And now I have converted boots. That is a pretty cool little thing. It means that you're going to have to think twice before attacking somebody on a vanilla server, at least. You will not be able to tell what kind of armor they're wearing, so you can't assume that they are wearing just this light, weak armor. It could be that they're wearing something pretty sturdy and they're not going to be as easy a target as you thought. Same goes with the weapons. Anyway, I just wanted to preview that. It's just the basic thing that you can do with the thaumaturgy bench. So I have discovered what you can do with failed sorcery scrolls. So let's look at here. Up here you have the ability to, with a thrall, research failed sorcery spell pages. So you get 10 of those together and you can get him to craft a new spell scroll from there. There's also another option to research by using papyrus scrolls, sacrificial blood in a flask, and an inking brush to come up with another scroll. So once you have a thrall in here, you'll be able to do some of this research. But that's what you do with the failed sorcery scrolls, so hang on to those.
Thank you for watching. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Until next time, goodbye.